The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 204 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. Boy, it's a great day to be an LAFC fan, isn't it? Basically, another great victory by the boys in black and gold. More are leading the way. Things look like they're turned around. It's all beautiful things. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I'm going to bring this mic in a little bit closer so it's going to be that much better. Today, we are actually a little bit heavier in the lineup tonight. We brought in the big guns today. So today we've got LAFC Australia. We've got Tony, and you see him right there in the lower right-hand corner there. LAFC Edge, otherwise known as Marvin Chavez. Welcome to the show, Marvin.
Hey, glad to be on.
Welcome aboard, man. Like, you're one of those guys that always anchors it in the comments, keeps things fresh, keeps things going, always has the right questions. So I'm just waiting to get stumped as the show goes along. Because, dude, you've been awesome for us, awesome for the whole pod community. And so we're beyond thankful to have you on. And I know it was a long time coming. So welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. I never had the guts to actually do it, but, I just thought I'd give it a try.
Well, I hope we serve you right today. That's for sure. Now, as you guys all see, Marvin has LAFC Edge under his name. Why? Because it looks like there's a new project going on. Marvin, can you explain what's going on with LAFC Edge?
Yeah, it's my new Twitter account. I was always under Marvin Chavez. But I decided, let me make an official page because I'm so active on there with my LAFC takes that I'm like, why don't I just actually create a page for this kind of stuff, So if I were to describe my page, I say that it's dedicated to honest and raw LAFC assessments without compromise. And I'm not trying to be like, inflammatory or trolling or anything like that. I really do try to provide analysis and reporting on stuff like team news, tactics, formations, even a little front office, player form, transfers, and even coaching. So yeah, a little of everything.
So not a hard take, an accurate take. That's what we're going for, right?
Yeah. I'm not here to try to be all inflammatory or anything.
Nice, man. We're looking forward to hearing the vibe after the weekend's match and what you've got going there. So of course, everybody go out there, follow him on Twitter at LAFC Edge, right? At LAFC Edge. To figure out what Marvin's up to, man. I know I got to get on that as well. Before we get into the show, I also wanted to give a shout out to the Shoulder to Shoulder podcast. Tony actually recorded with them tonight. So that episode's going to be dropping pretty soon. So look out for that. Also, they hit episode 100. So again, congratulations to Shoulder to Shoulder on hitting episode 100. Super cool. But they're not the only ones. This is even better. FCFC hit episode 100 as well. So we're all hitting milestones, guys. It's kind of crazy and kind of beautiful all at the same time. So everybody's moving along. Maybe we're all getting old. I don't know what it is, but good things. That's for sure. Building things up. We're happy. Dude, again, Pod Fam is legit. It is Pod Fam. And we all want to see everybody do the best they possibly can. Because at the end of the day, we're all talking what? LAFC. And the more you hear about LAFC, the better off they're going to be. So for all you guys that are up to doing this, staying up late, getting things recorded, going live and nuts like we are right now, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Highly appreciated. So that being said, since we are on a happy note today, we're going to move right into it. Like I said, we got a really greedy win against Austin. I couldn't help but laugh for half of the game, just looking at the crowd going, man, there's a copy of everyone in the North End just wearing green. It was beautiful to see all the carbon copy LAFC vibes the whole time. Even like the stands look the same. The capo stand looks the same. I saw dudes wearing vests. Like it's like all the clothing and gear. It was like the same. It's like Back to the Future when things kind of go wrong and Biff's in charge. That's Austin FC. So good to see. I mean,
it feels like an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Right.
It really does.
Right. Not quite right. Just a little different. But not us, never going to be us. So there it is. It can look the same, but it ain't feeling the same. There it is. All right, so let's get into that because obviously we had a massive match against the bottom dwellers of the West who are desperate to get out of the bottom and at least get things moving for themselves. Not as if they're playing bad, they're just not getting the results. So we move into the house. We got to go take care of business and possibly sweep these guys, which you all know, as Kansas City said, it's really hard to sweep teams. It is. And for us, the big challenge is we swept RSL, right? And going to do it back-to-back matches, sweeping aside. So that's where we were at going into this. Looking at the lineup, we knew that Atuesta was going to be out for the day, so that was going to be a little hard. And, of course, Ibiaga had his yellow card accumulation. Trouble, stuff that players that were really stepping up in the moment as we were shorthanded. So lineup was different. We had Rodriguez and Arango up top. Yes, Brian was back. In the midfield, you saw Cifuentes, Cristosomo. All right, Janela was out there. Edwards was kind of out there, listed as I don't know what. So he was somewhere out in the midfield, up high, up low at times, but he was over on the left side doing his thing. And then you had Kim, who technically played more of a right back situation on the day. That is what it looked like. Your center backs kind of sort of with Murillo and Fall, and then Farfan kind of on the left side, kind of in the middle at moments. But a little bit, he's still playing D. So it was a little bit of a combination kind of lineup. Not really of a 4-4-2, or it was really odd. It kind of just melded as needed. So that was the lineup going into that. Their approach, on the other hand, was pretty much typical as to what we talked about as well. I know we lost Bam here. He was going to give us a little bit of the approach to the match. I know we lost Brendan for the moment. He's trying to get back on, but I'm going to throw it out there. Their approach was pretty similar to what we've seen before, right? Clog up the midfield, try to take care of a little bit of business, go on and use Fagundes, who's not really all that consistent, doing his thing. We do have Bam jumping back on, so I'm going to give him this moment to adjust, get on, and then throw him right into the fire. Bam, can you hear us, sir?
Can hear you. Sorry about that. I have a storm going through at the moment, so internet's playing up a little bit.
If it's not a storm, it's lockdown.
Yep.
Storm, lockdown. But good news is Bam is back, and he's had his first shot.
Ooh, what?
I had it last night.
Right? So. Tony didn't know about that. Right? So what'd you get, brother?
I had my first Pfizer last night, so I'll wait 6 more weeks for my next one.
There it is. I know that feeling. Wait till tomorrow. You'll see. But it's got to kick you. It kicks you for a day, and then you're fine. You keep on going. Yeah. So, Bam, we are talking about the Austin approach to the game. I mentioned how they kind of clog up the midfield, but what was their actual lineup on the day?
They're doing a 4-2-3-1, and I've got the lineup here so everyone can see who it wants to work.
Bring it.
There we go.
Goes in. We're going to move in, and boom. There you go.
There you go. Had Stuver in the back. Also had Lima, Casente, Romena, and Kolmenik. In the mid, we had Beltar, Ring, Stroud, Rossi, and Fagundes. Their forwards was Dominguez, and that's how they ended up coming out with it.
Yeah, so again, a very cautious approach to us, try to hit us on a counter. I think that was the story of the day for them, is to just basically keep us honest as we try to be aggressive as possible. So that is what we saw going into this. Of course, we were in there thinking, all right, well, we'll see how this plays. It's going to be hard with the midfield that we have, but we got to make it work. Now, Tony, how did things break down in the match?
Hey, let's just start it off. So in the first 2 minutes, let's just say we almost got their fastest goal since we scored our fastest goal. Ring to Dominguez, and he finds Brucey for the goal. But unfortunately, it was ruled offsides by VAR, not by
Fortunately,
yes, thank God, because I was just like, well, 20 minutes in, and this is how we go. This is going to be the going forward for every game. We just got to make it through 20 minutes, and this is why.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was legit, but then when you saw the replay, yeah, it was off. It was definitely off. So thank God we dodged the bullet there. They went to VAR because VAR has not been our friend as of late, right? No. So there's that. Of course, things keep going. What happens in the 23rd minute?
So Janela actually finds Raita right in the box, and he has a nice flick where he flicks it over the defender to keep it in play. Finds Chicho, but unfortunately, Chicho does not have enough girth into it to block it to get it in, and I'm blocked by the keeper.
There we go. All right. So as we keep on going, the first half pretty much turns into a bit of a slog of a match. Everybody beating each other up, taking hits. Orongo taking an absolute hammering continually. It felt like the way Vela was when he was on a streak, is just getting beat up the whole time. And so we get through this first half. Got to be a little bit angry. Not at the way we're playing, because it was a rough game. You couldn't expect flow from the way they were doing things, but just feeling not quite satisfied at the moment. So second half kicks off. What's our next big moment of the match, sir?
Pretty much Kim with the cross. He gets it on the edge, crosses it, and it's blocked. And he keeps continuing the play, which is good. Like, he doesn't stop. He just continues, which is great, until the play is over. And then it gets rolled by, and then it goes to VAR because was it a handball or was it not a handball? Because the broccoli defenders, we'll continue calling them, pretty much pulls out his chicken wing up in the air and kind of blocks it away. And it's just like, what are you doing, kind of thing. But fortunate for us, it goes to VAR and we get the penalty.
Very fortunate to us. Really, I can't believe he stuck the arm out the way he did. There wasn't really a necessity for it. He already had his body in position to block it anyway. But he got caught, he got caught. And I was worried that we weren't going to get the call, right? Because there were some plays earlier in the match that probably should have gone to VAR that we didn't get. Thankfully, we got this one, and it paid itself off. So you got to say, like, the celebration, Marvin, how'd you enjoy that celebration from Chicho there?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, Arango, you could really tell he brings these, like, celebrations, and he just really connects the team. You could really see the chemistry between all the team. I think he's making such a big difference in the locker room. I think you could tell just how everybody gets along so well.
There is a definite chemistry you can see within this lineup, and there's a party atmosphere. And Orongo, you got to realize Orongo's not a young kid anymore. He's a vet, and he's already taking a bit of a leadership role within this lineup, which is beautiful to see from a guy that's just jumped in. And I can't help but think the guys played a little bit of FIFA, right? I mean, with the celebrations, like something so typical FIFA. So that was cool. I mean, I like it. Keep it up. I've never seen Murillo smile so much in such a short amount of time since he's come around, but that guy's really brightened the mood, you could say, as well, having Orongo around. So good things, that's for sure. Tony, let's bring this on. What happens next?
So, and then again, Raito finds Chicho again and is pretty much, I'm going to call this an MMA takedown, like, for a yellow. Like, let's be honest, that was not a normal, like, I'm going to foul you to stop the play. That was literally, he tackled him when he was in football, or he was taking him down in an MMA fight. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
Frustration all the way, right?
Yeah.
So, it keeps going. 66 comes around. What happens then, sir?
So, unfortunately, in the 66 moment, Ring finds Domínguez and he shoots the ball. And luckily, it hits the post. But unluckily, it rebounds right in front of Moon and Fuenguez. But Fuenguez, unfortunately, it gets a touch on the ball before Moon can even do anything with it, and it goes in and he puts it away. It's one of those. It was literally a bang play, and Kim tried the best he could to just kind of like deflect it and do anything, but unfortunately, Fuenguez was faster than he was and pushed it back in.
Yeah, and within the moment, I mean, to be really real about this, we were getting a little casual in the back. And there were moments where you could see they had an odd man rush on us. They had more in the attack than we had in the defense in many cases, many times at this point. Like, they were taking risks. Probably unnecessary in the moment, right? But it was happening. And this goal, I mean, yeah, we talk about the bang at the end, but you saw it coming. Like, it was clearly coming. You saw Murillo shift a little too far to the left in the play, and Fall didn't really follow to accommodate for that. So definitely a breakdown right up the middle. Neither guy was in the position they needed to be for the moment, and they burned us. They quite literally burned us. And you could see Murillo looking at the kid like, dude, what was that all about? They got to both look at each other because both were in a bad spot in the moment.
Yeah.
They both were at fault on the play. They let it get too wide, and they gave up this error. It is what it is, and that's football. Most of the goals are coming from the defensive errors anyway. So, yeah, we suffered on that one, that's for sure. But we keep going. Marvin, what was your take on that goal?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obvious that the center backs were being pulled wide, and they were almost playing like alongside the fullbacks, which was really interesting. It was leaving this huge gap in the center, and that's where Dominguez really took advantage, and he got a beautiful pass, and yeah, it worked out for them. I think I'm hoping that there's not communication issues with the English and Spanish between Fall and Murillo, because I feel like there are communication issues still, and Murillo finds himself out of place a lot. Some might say that it's necessary for us to like transition into attack, but I really don't think that Murillo needs to be so much part of the transition. I think he needs to stay back a little more, and this time he wasn't caught off position. He was just too far he was just too wide. So I still nonetheless a positioning problem, and I think that I really hope that Bob addresses his positioning problems.
For sure. Part of me does feel though, and Bam, you could jump on in this. We're used to having 3 center backs in many cases already this season. In this case, we didn't have 3 center backs. Now you have 2. Do you think maybe that could be the case where they're so used to having that 3 that you just left that gap in the middle?
Yeah. I think they're used to having that 3 center backs and having that 1 push up. And now with only 2 center backs, the ones that used to pushing up can't push up anymore. So just a little bit of teething issues. It's going to happen. At least it's not 6 weeks ago.
Right. We got now 9 matches to go. Yeah, I think you can figure it out by the playoffs. That maybe we'll figure that out. That's for certain. Maybe we'll keep that 3 center back thing going, since that one seems to always work for the most part. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on. Probably the moment that I think all of us were kind of celebrating, because it's an edge that we rarely see from this club. What happened in the 79th, Tony?
So pretty much the 79th minute, it's nothing like the play wasn't like crazy or anything like that. It was more of what happened after the play. So Moose decides to kind of be a little spunky with the keeper and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like as Bam said, like he would be so happy if one of our players decided to waste time and throw the ball everywhere and not, do the same. And but the keeper they got this back and forth. The keeper wasn't too happy, and then Moose kind of like it went into him, or it kind of sparked something into him. And Moose got the yellow, but it sparked something in him that we needed, because not even a minute later, pretty much, Sifu finds Moose through a through pass, and he like literally one-on-one with the keeper and puts it away beautifully. And he showed so much passion, but then this actually showed a lot more too with Chicho, because Chicho kind of took him aside and be like, great goal, literally grabbed his face. I'm like, good job, focus on what we need to keep doing, and calmed him down, which was honestly one of the best things I've seen, as of course, like leadership that we quote unquote lack, and especially from our striker.
Yeah, and it's clear leadership from Chicho. There's no doubt he's seeing the vacuum and taking that mantle, and having a Twist out of the lineup, he just kind of doubles down as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about Chicho as well, because he does deserve the breakdown today, that's for certain. What I loved about Moose in that moment, and he could have gone full tilt and like let the guy push him and fall down, and could have really made a whole ham out of that thing. He did enough though just to get in their heads. It did pay off. It felt like a continuation as well. The goal by Moose though, that was like outside of the foot type of finish right there. It was a skillful little end to that play, something that we're not entirely used to seeing from Moose, but the positioning is something we've seen pretty much since the second half of the season. Is his runs are on point. He's always on the edge. He's always active, always moving. So it was only a matter of time for this to happen for him, that one he could actually finish off, which he did in style. Right, Bam? I mean, the positioning, did it stand out to you as well?
Oh, it was the Moose that we've seen in the past that had gone missing. He's come back. Yeah. he was in the right position, the right time. The only thing that I would have enjoyed a little bit more, but I know some people wouldn't have, if he celebrated right in front of Stuva, that would have been a little bit better.
Oh, dude, slide on the knees right in front of the goal.
Nah. Just stand in front of Stuva, arms out.
Just to take the push. Yeah, that would have been cool. Or you grab the net, like run into the net and grab it. Like I'm in there, man. Like again, we like the edge. We like Moose doing this. This is good for the team. You have to get in their heads. You have to do it. Everyone else does it. It's time for us to get into this mix too. We got Portland coming up. Chara's like shenanigans. Maybe we can match this for once. It's good. It's good. Moving through, we had the 94th minute. That was a little bit odd. What happened there, Tony?
Honestly, I felt like this is like for the perfect person to be on the pod for this present. So we have a throw-in, a log throw-in, and it causes a lot of chaos in there because it's just like it gets in, they have a shot attempt, it gets blocked, but we don't clear it out, and then they get it back, they have another shot attempt. It was literally like that could have been the second goal, and we could have actually gone from 3 to 1 point after that.
The slow rolling bounce off of that was off of Duke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was torture, right? And you're like, hey, so this is how RSL felt, and then it finally just went out of bounds. Yeah, that was beautiful chaos, and finally, again, we're on the right side of a bounce. We'll take it. I love the reaction from the Austin players in the moment. Like, what do we have to do? Was the vibe from them. It was beautiful. A little bit of chaos. If you survive it, you can laugh about it later. And so I'm here to laugh about it. That's for sure. 97th minute. What goes down?
So the 97th minute, mind you, we only had 7 minutes, and it went longer than 7 minutes, which was more torture for us in general. So what it is.
I want to know where they got the 7 minutes from. That's what I want to know.
Again, we don't know. How many times throughout this season have we had quote unquote 4 minutes and turned into 7? You know what I mean? So it's nothing new to us, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. But Duke to Moose, and unfortunately he misses the goal. And if you guys were still on your phones and you saw the live from Duke, he literally gives Moose a little rib as he's like, I would have had an assist if Moose put it away and stuff like that.
I'm loving this Duke. Like, this is the Duke we want to see from now on. Waiting for a hard shot. He's gonna get one, guys. It's gonna happen. But just having an edge, another guy that's figured out that we need a bit of an edge. And coming in when he came in, it was right. It was right. It's good. I can't help but feel like the ref at that point was a little pissed at us for some of the gamesmanship that we were actually participating in, that he just went, forget it. I'm gonna go until the threat's no longer there. And so it was like 98-30, right? I mean, it was really ridiculous when it finally ended, but it did. The torture was over. Our guys looked tired. Everybody on both sides pretty much collapsed at the whistle, and we walk away with a huge victory, a critical win on the road, getting us a streak. Marvin, as the whistle blew, how are you feeling, man?
I thought I would have been more upset by the scoreline and what happened, but actually I was just pretty relieved and just happy for the team. We've been talking about how we need to get these gritty wins, and just really fight it out. And that's what happened. It might have not been a pretty win, but they did what they needed to do to get the win. And that's all that matters at the end.
Right. Nobody cares about how it looked. They care about the scoreline. So there it is. Bam, what is your take on this match, sir?
Well, I had to find other memes of watching the game, which that's beside the point. Ended up watching it with the Austin FC commentators, and they were loving life during the game. They were loving life, especially with their handball call with VAR. They were loving life at that stage.
Pure hate.
Yeah. After it was really good. I felt as though with the team we put out there, I would have been happy to walk away with a draw. It would have hurt losing points, but with the team that was out there, missing a Twester at the moment really hurts us. Getting a point would have been good, but 3 points was amazing. I felt good. My bank account felt good. So everything felt good.
How much did you make on that, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
$20.
Beer money.
Nice.
Dude, you're talking
Yeah.
like, I'm hearing this guy go on social media and I'm like, he must have won like $300. Like, that's how I would react on $300. And he's reacting on 20. It's all right.
Beer money.
It's okay.
Beer money. Yeah, just a little 2-leg multi that needed LAFC to win and Chicho to score. So I was happy with that.
I mean, it had to be pretty much like minimum bet, right?
Yeah, cheeky fiver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a simple bet. But it's a good return on $5. So good.
Exactly.
Good.
Bet
Good
to have
stuff.
fun, not to win.
Right. It's still a victory all the way around. Yeah. A wall of victory. There it is. Tony, your impressions of the match, sir.
Honestly, called it. I was like, I did say 2-0, but I figured it'd be 2-1 because it's like you never know. Again, it's us. We let some bad goals in, and so unfortunately, this is the season for that. But it's like I said, this road trip is going to be very crucial to where we stand on the playoffs, especially coming up again. Like I feel like every time we talk, we have to talk about like leading up to the Carson game because we can actually jump them. But it's a good to start off with 3 points. Like it's as much as we were gonna talk about like everything else that's going on in the league. This puts us more in we're in control of our own fate than putting it in the hands of other people. So it was a good 2 minutes. Unfortunately, it was a very sloppy game, and we need to clean it up. Luckily, it's against a team who doesn't know what to do at the moment with their lineups, with their players, with everything. Moving forward, I hope we clean it up, especially going into Portland. But 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. You take the win. And, I was figuring this thing was ugly from like the get-go. Like this thing was ugly. And I knew it was going to be ugly just looking at what lineups were going to be out there. You figured on it getting ugly. And that's okay. Like once in a while we need one that's ugly. And so it's okay giving up the pretty for it. It's okay. Looking at the stats, yes, we ceded possession, but we didn't cede goal chances. We didn't concede opportunities. We still matched them almost equal on passing, even though they had more possession. It didn't matter because we were more successful on their end. It was okay. We could counter it. We could do what we needed to do. Targeting on shots, we were about 50% on goal, which is better than we do in most cases. So again, efficiency wins the day. And in this case, when we had our chances, we took them, which brings me to the guy I want to isolate. And of course, that's Arango. And you're like, what's easy? Isolate Arango. He's like the big star of the game. Yeah, but you got to talk about the things he did, the measurable things. We know what he did movement-wise, leadership-wise. There's no question about that. But it actually shows up in the stats as well. A couple interesting things I saw. He was the most fouled player in the match. He only listed 3, but we all know he fouled about 14 times, just didn't get the calls. Okay. He took a beating. He never once gave a negative reaction towards one of their players. The whole time he just lobbied to the ref, didn't lose his cool. In many cases, kind of dragged it a bit to get the hits. Right? I mean, he was manufacturing cards on players. Like, you could see what he was doing. Like, he was kind of sucking them into things. It was calculated. So that was something that was really cool to see from him. He had the least touches in the match. I thought that was interesting. Of any of the outfield players, he had the least touches. I know.
I felt like he had the most touches.
It was the movements he was making.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting? So, and efficiency, right? He didn't hold the ball for too long and let it go, and it turned into something else, waiting for it to come back to him again. Again, masterful performance, no doubt. He also won the most duels in the match. Of anyone out there, he won the most duels, which is kind of crazy, being that he is in the position he's in. And what does that mean? Basically, there were 11 duels. He won 7 of them. That's pretty good for the guy playing up high, right? You usually lose most, right? Yeah. That's the beast that it is. So that was interesting to see. His expected goals on the day were 0.99. Yeah. What did he get?
1.
Just what he needed to do, right? It came across efficiency. Shots in his case were just like the rest of the team, 50%. Half in, half out, but he definitely made it count. So on the day, I gotta say it was one heck of a performance by him. He is just coming into himself. I know we talk about the goals and all that, but it's all the other stuff. Complete package. Marvin, what has your impressions been of Arango? Just even leading up to this match.
I like his hunger and his passion. He has a fire that we were lacking before. We saw flashes of it in certain players, like Sifu has, kind of a hunger that's special, and Arango has that. And we've been lacking that in a forward for a while because the person to last have that was Diomande. And I think that's why he was such a fan favorite, because we, as fans, we just love people who bleed for our colors, and you could really tell when they have that passion and they want to score no matter what. And Arango has that, and it seems like he has the talent to back it up as well. So I think, he's going to be a new fan favorite.
Easily earning that. You put goals away with this team, you become a fan favorite. It's pretty natural. It is amazing to see the player that he's becoming after what we saw against Vancouver and Atlanta, right, where he was kind of screwed a little too tight, you could say, trying to get the perfection, and now it's just like, let's hit it, let's roll. So it is great to see the development from him. That's for sure. That being said, I'm going to jump over to the comments because y'all like are active tonight. It's a beautiful thing. So let me get into the mix here. First, of course, Jonathan's on there. Happy that Marvin's on. We're all happy that Marvin's on. Jonathan Reimer there with the, episode 100. But I guess recorded 101 tonight. So better. All love for you, sir. Jason Lemus back in the mix. Facts, copycats, broccoli FC. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. Like, you could have like a People of Walmart website. We've seen that. You could have People of Austin and just have a great time. I'm telling you, the guy with the Pringles can shouting in the Pringles can. It's classic stuff. Good. Ramon Poblano basically says, "Hi everyone, long-time listener, first time making it live, big fan." Dude, Ramon, all love, man. Thank you for your support, your continued support. It's even better to have you on for the live one to check out what we're up to over here. Totally cool. Ramon saw Marvin on Gio's show.
Yep, I was on LA Soccer Hub just yesterday, actually. So that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
If you got suckered into doing, go for it.
No, I was just saying, as soon as you make an official Twitter page, apparently people want to have you on the podcast. So that's kind of fun.
There it is. Are you agreeing to go on for one of those rivalry episodes?
Oh, hell no, I will never do that.
Me either. It's good. I don't need to give air to rivals. They get enough of it already, and it's pretty hot, so it's fine with me. I'm not going to give more. Good stuff. Go check it out. Check out Marvin on there. And again, LAFC Edge, people. LAFC Edge. Hector Gonzalez. Hey, everyone. How do you think the game would have played out if we had a Twist on the pitch? I think the team really missed him. To be real, I don't think we would have allowed a goal in this game. And it probably would have been an extra one for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flow that we're used to seeing wasn't there, right? I told you it was messy. That's the guy. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
Right there.
Crisostomo was okay. He was decent, but I think he kind of threw off the chemistry in the midfield. Not because it's his fault or not because he's not good enough. It's just lack of chemistry overall and experience with Sifu and stuff like that. So I think if Atuesta would have been playing, it would have been an entirely different game.
Agreed. Totally. Ooh, Slim's on here. Slim, again, congratulations on episode 100. So Slimco says, them Chicho thighs, though. Sheesh. Is it the thighs or the tight short? Because it's like he's wearing one size too small. Had to go there. Both, but it does look like he's extra muscle on the outside of his thigh, right? If you guys noticed that, there's something different going on there,
maybe a tumor.
Talking about a guy's thighs, I get it, Slim, you're right, man. He's a kind of dude. Honestly, Chicho's Shaqiri level right there in terms of just strength, right?
Have you guys seen his Instagram comment section? It's all Colombian women just gaga for him,
No, isn't it they want pretty much all the fans want him back now? They didn't appreciate him, and now he's doing so well for us. They're can we have him back, please?
Oh no,
they wanted him back to play.
They worshipped him. They were so sad when he left.
Yeah, there was a lot of anger when he left. I see why now. We all see why now. And thank you, Millonarios fans, for the amazing development of this player. we worked out pretty darn well. Slimco says Atuesta had been our most important player the last 2 seasons. We miss him more than Vela when they're not on the pitch. Right now, yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
It-
I mean,
it de-
Atuesta's
it
playing like a
depends
DP, but he's not. Go for it, Marvin.
No, I'm just saying it depends what their form is. Vela in prime form, nobody beats him. But, obviously he hasn't been in that form. And Atuesta kind of took a dip too himself in the early season. But now the last 3 or 4 matches, he really picked up his game again. So, yeah.
Yeah, he looked tired for a few games there. And maybe this sitting out of the lineup, I don't know how real the injury is, or maybe it's just giving the man some rest. But he's earned it. That's for sure. Jason Lemus says Musovski definitely shut up Austin. Respect to the team members coming over to calm him down and hug him after scoring. Passion, baby. It's good call, Jason. Yes, Musovski is the man, dude. I just, again, you have that edge. It's all good things.
Yeah. It's not even just edge. It's passion for the badge. Having passion for the badge and putting everything behind it.
I wasn't sure if he was like shushing us as fans because we didn't believe in him as much. I didn't want to take it negatively, and I still love the guy, but I was also wondering, because they brought Arango, they started Brian, and if he feels like he's been pushed to the back burner, and if that's getting him upset, and he felt like he had to prove himself, this goal redeemed him somehow. That was my interpretation of the whole scenario, but I could be entirely wrong.
I think it was just more of like the whole yellow card from earlier. You know what I mean? This like
it could have been, yeah.
Because it's like again, we don't hear it's no longer COVID season. Like when there are no fans, so you can't hear what they're saying. But it had to be like some gameship where it's just like, why are you doing this? Like you're not even a starter. You're not even on the team. Go back to light, something like that. So it could be like something where he's telling everyone else in the stadium, as in like the Austin fans, the keeper, to just kind of like,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, there's been a lot of hate towards LAFC, so he's got to have something to go with there. There's a lot that he can choose from to give that reaction. That's for sure. I mean, Jennings was getting minutes over him for a while there, right? I mean, that was even like you're down the pecking order, way down the pecking order. But now he's found his way back, and the story's not over. Old Moose is back, so good things. Hooganox tosses out there, yo, Marvin, I'm a little late today. Late, you're like middle of the morning over there. So, sheesh, man. All right, all love, Hooganox.
Good to see you, Ox.
Alan Marquez, great to see Marvin on the show. It is great to see Marvin on the show. We're extremely happy to have him on there. I'm kind of freaking out on the comments, though, because it's usually something clicked off of Marvin, so that's a little different. That's right.
I know. I was
now I'm just verbalizing it. That's not good.
Yeah.
Now you're hearing it live, people. There it is.
Live.
Hector Gonzalez at Slim Co. I agree. This is going to be tough to find a solid replacement for Atuesta once he inevitably leaves. Yeah, but not this year, right? I'll worry about it next year. If he does leave, we're getting a pretty penny. That's for certain. So we'll find it. Oh, dude, this is a good one. Pablo Morales says Chicho is our future captain. Heavy talk there, man. Pablo, he's definitely soul of the club already. He's already getting into that realm. So if you could be a co-captain, he's definitely earned that already. Yeah, I mean, the leadership is legit. That's for sure. Jason Lemus, one of the best games from Chicho, was a boss on the field, made me forget that Rossi is gone and Vela is doing whatever he's doing. Right? Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about our 3 DPs because honestly, they're all replaceable at this moment. They're not the impact at all. Brian's back. He had a great game against the Galaxy, but this match, not as much, right?
He had
Marvin,
moments.
go for it.
No, I was just going to ask you. I have a question for you guys, and that's if we didn't have that own goal previous game and we didn't have a penalty this game, what would we have gotten the result we wanted? I like to think we would.
I think if the own goal doesn't happen, a goal still happens in that match.
That's what I feel. I feel like the hunger's there, and I think Bob is being a little more conservative now instead of just giving away more leads at the end. He's just trying to be a little more conservative. when we do have a lead after the 70th minute, I think he's defending a little more, which is good. I think that's what the fans want, right?
Accepting the result. It's a good thing. Yes, for sure. Tony, you had something you wanted to say, right?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's just like that. Yeah, I agree with it. Just like if we didn't have the own goal, like we still get a goal on that stuff like that. I think it also helps that Atuesta is like literally getting on people's like asses. Sorry for the language, but he's like last game he got on everybody for little mistakes. He's tired of it. You know what I mean? And I think that's resonated. And when it's one of those things where it's like as much as you have to be yelled at to do what you have to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes being polite sometimes helps, but sometimes in the moment you have to just be passionate and be like, yo, don't mess up. You know what I mean? But it's all coming, but everyone knows it's coming from love and heart and stuff like that, is to make the team better.
Different level of ownership. That's for sure. This is the crew that bleeds for the club. All good things. Let's see. Moving forward to Hector. Let me get into Hector here. Hector Gonzalez says, I know he just got here, but you guys been okay if Chicho was the cap for this game? I would have been good with him being the cap. The thing, though, is Murillo earned it simply because he's the guy. We've been leaning on him all the way through the highs, the lows. He's the constant back there. And I don't think Fall has the debuts that he has or has the moments that he has without a guy like Murillo next to him. I just don't. So he earned it because of time served, you could say. Could Chicho get a chance to hold the armband at some point? Maybe, as long as Atuesta's not on the field. But if Atuesta's healthy and ready to go, Atuesta has to get it back. No question.
Exactly.
Bam, you wanted to add something, right?
Yeah, that's why I can see Atuesta not going anywhere. I reckon we're going to offer him the permanent captaincy and a contract extension for 3-4 years.
Question for you
could
guys.
be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it.
I was just going to ask, how many captains do you know that are strikers, though?
Not a whole lot.
Cristiano, Messi.
Those are the two I thought of.
It always ends with those two. After that, you're like,
They're the exception of everything in soccer. But I personally don't like striker captains. I prefer them to be the strong midfielder or a strong defender. It's great to have the passion that Arango has, and I think he could be a leader on the pitch, but I personally wouldn't want him as a captain.
Yeah. I can see Arango being the captain when Rossi gets taken off at the 75th minute to rest him for the next game. He's going to give the armband to someone. He passes on to Arango. That's where I see him being that captain. He'll be more of a vice captain during the game. And when Atuesta's not around, he'll step up into that role. But as a permanent captain, I agree with you. I don't see a striker being a permanent captain.
Got to figure that the captain's the guy that's got a jaw at the ref all game. And strikers are going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like, now I got to listen to this guy that's been yelling at me, laying on the floor all game. Like, right, I'm not listening. But you have Atuesta on the other hand, who's grinding all game. There's definitely a little level of respect there for a guy that's grinding. So, yeah. I mean, he could get, again, I think Bam's probably right. It's the guy that gets handed to because he's earned it for the day after one goes off. That totally makes sense. Moving on to Jason Lemus, and he says Stuver can eat a broccoli. Boy, he had a freak out, didn't he? That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he was trying to generate a yellow card for Moose. That was funny for sure. Jason Lemus also brings up they went like 9 extra minutes. Not cool. Yeah, that was angry ref moment. Like, I think he needed a Snickers bar.
Pretty much.
So bizarre. Hector Gonzalez, is the league not this is a good one. Is the league not taking us seriously? The guys on extra time practically called LAFC fool's gold. For context, the guys on extra time were calling us to win MLS Cup this year before the season started. So for them to come off calling fool's gold is pretty much calling themselves out. Right?
I think the league was taking LAFC too seriously, and that's why fans got mad. Not 2019. That was prime LAFC. Everyone should have predicted we were going to win the season. That's fair. But I think fans around MLS get upset that when we're doing bad, we're so hyped up to be like the best team, and we're like, maybe we're not, So I think now it's kind of reversing itself, and now it's like they're balancing that view. which I don't agree with to call us full goal, by the way. I disagree with that.
I'm going to take it like this. Write us off. Please. Every writer in the league, please write us off. I beg of you to write us off. Look the other way. Don't watch what we're doing. Pay attention to somebody else. Go hang out in Carson if you want. But leave us alone.
Yeah.
Go for it.
One of the biggest issues I have is that like everybody comes to play us like if they're going to win the MLS Cup. And we haven't been informed for like a year now or over a year. And it's like, could you guys calm down? Like, don't make like, this is not winning the MLS Cup when you guys win us. And like, it makes winning like so extra hard when like they take it so seriously against us compared to every other team in the league. It's like they're playing Seattle or something.
Yeah, like they play for the death. I think the reason why is they fear us. Nobody wants to play this team in the playoffs. Let's be real. So if you can kick us while you're down, you're going to do that because one, you need the points. Two, if you can find a way to keep us out of that playoff line, you're going to do everything you can to do it because you know that if you get us in a playoff series, we are so dangerous. This team in the playoffs, this chemistry that we're seeing with the young guys, the grinder victories that we're starting to get, that's what playoff wins are going to look like. That ugly match that y'all just watched this week, that's your typical MLS playoff vibe right there. No flow, ugly, grind out, get beat up, but you found a way through. That's how the playoffs work. So can you think of anyone sitting on the right side of the playoff line that goes, oh, yeah, well, LAFC would be a good placement for us. That can get us out of the first round.
Hell no.
No, not one. And right now, let's be real. It looks like if the way things play out and we still play well, we get results. Y'all know what the matchup's going to be. It's looking so obvious already. It's going to be us versus Carson. The question is who's serving as the home team in that round. It's playing that way. I'll bet anybody. When we get to playoffs, because I'm feeling good about it now, it's going to be Carson in the first round. Whether we like it or not, it just looks like a collision course at this point, and you got to know that they're fearing that for sure. It looks like it. It feels that way. It's how things work out. So do you think anybody wants to play us? No. Call us fool's gold. Write us off. Look the other way. We'll keep building. We'll poster that up on the locker room. And we'll get ready for all you guys to hurt some teams. So that's fine. It's good. Call us fool's gold. I love it. Tony, you want to add anything to that?
No. It's like I said, like the best way to say it is like we're the Lakers. Like when we come in, they always want to play against us to show us because it's like usually we're on prime time and there's also more eyes on their game to show like whatever team we play. It's like if they're not established or they're like a low market team, they just like this is why we here, like blah blah blah. We beat, you know what I mean? It's like a chip. You know what I mean? It's like a chip on the shoulder.
It's a symbolic win for them. And if they're not that great, well, they won LAFC. They're doing good,
It buys time in the contract for the coach of whatever team it is.
Real. It really does. It really does.
It gives the talking heads more to talk about. All good things. Jonathan, Chicho, future captain. I think we covered that one pretty well. Jonathan does agree on Chicho as the captain mentality. Good stuff. Pablo Morales, official captain Jonathan, because he's already leading in and out of the pitch. It's obvious. So he's replying to Jonathan Reimer there. Future official captain, Pablo's going heavy on this one, really on the Arango train. It's okay to be on the Arango train. And of course, Rastigari, he calls it, I heard this in the chat during the match, Arangol. We have a new term. Shall we use this, gentlemen? Arangol whenever he scores. It's getting that frequent.
I'm just saying, all the times I hear Arango, I just have Philly's freaking song stuck in my head.
Shout out to defenders.
I kind of want that as a cheer, not gonna lie.
Hey, we'll play off of that for sure. Hooligan Ox, agree, Pablo. We need a true leader out there, and we can see it from Chicho. Pablo Morales says, I had a great time in Austin. While Black Army had a great time with Los Verdes, I had great conversation with Austin Anthem. One of them openly told me they got really inspired by the 3252. If hitting the copy button is inspired, that's cool, man. That's cool. Zzz, zzz, there it goes. All right, fine by me. Good stuff, Pablo. Hey, Pablo, good stuff being an ambassador out there, showing the right side of things in football, building bridges on the road. right? Keeping it friendly, keeping the banter going, of course. That's what it's about. Going on the road, having a good time, not making it all negative and getting stupid out there. No, man. LAFC fans, once again, on this road trip showed pure class. Thank you to all of you who went. We're only hearing good things. Pablo Morales, I took that as a compliment. New MLS is friendlier and all about the culture. It's a fascinating topic worth of a pod episode. Yeah, the culture and building a culture for sure. For sure. Maybe we can get one of the Austin pods to jump on with us and we can have that kind of conversation. I know that we're all down for it, so maybe we'll work something out on that in the future. Be fun. Ernesto Moreno, the game is the game, and sometimes the ball rolls our way. Right?
Yeah, we haven't gotten lucky in a long time, and like it was literally so much bad luck game after game after game. To get lucky, like kind of lucky in 2 games is like it finally feels good, you know. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of luck on your side.
Like I said, it's football.
Yeah, I mean,
Chance.
yeah, that's football. The ball is round, 90 minutes, anything goes. It's expected. Yeah, and you look back to again. I always looked back to the Vancouver game because that was the most snake bit game we've ever played in. Where it's like if it could go wrong, it did go wrong, especially on the offensive side of things. It's just nice to see us finally getting it. Definitely. Oh, Team Bonilla says, when Vela comes back, how do y'all think the chemistry will be on top will be? It's a hard conversation. We're definitely willing to say it. Right now, I don't feel he's in the starting lineup yet because of the chemistry, which is hard to say because it's Carlos freaking Vela. But we haven't seen that Carlos freaking Vela in nearly, 2 seasons? So that guy that instantly gets a spot in the starting lineup hasn't shown up in nearly 2 seasons. Let's be real. I would see him as a super sub. If he can take that, it's cool. We're going to talk about Portland in a bit and how Diego Valeri has turned into that guy as he's eased himself back. He's not a full-time 90-minute player, but he's still making an impact being the guy off the bench, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. That could be Vela's role in the interim. Since he is coming back from injury, that might be the wisest move, especially want to keep him healthy for next year too. So if he stays, we don't know. So there it is. Anybody else want to add to that from Team Bodine?
Yeah, I have a take on that. That I feel like Vela's unhappiness, it seems to be rooting from his contract, from what we saw in that Galaxy, or was it the All-Star game? Sorry, I think the
All-Star game. Yeah.
Obviously, it seems like there's contract problems, and if he's going in with that negativity, I'd rather not have him on the pitch, even if he isn't injured. I think if they fix his money, his compensation issues that he has with his contract, and then all for the best, and let him on the pitch if he's happy. Because I think when Carlos Vela is happy, he plays amazing, and if they're not going to renew his contract, I don't even know if I want him on the field because he's probably going to be an energy suck for the entire team. I think he's going to bring too much negativity. And I think that was part of the issue too when he was there with Rossi, who wanted to be transferred out, weeks and months ago. And on top of his contract problems, I felt the team just felt very negative on the field. And it's nice to have these new guys like Arango, and even Ginella getting a chance and Duke getting a chance. These are kids who are hungry, and they don't have those biases happening right now with contracts and all that, other transfer talks and all that. Like, they're just there to prove themselves, and it's clean, pure energy, and it's coming off on the team. My concern is if Vela comes back without that contract that he wants, is he going to bring back that negativity? That's my concern.
Yeah, again, where's his head at? We're in a situation where we're looking to our 2 main DPs, and you couldn't look to them towards the end because their heads really were seeming to be in another place. And I think Vela showed his hand during the All-Star break. Like, it was not necessary to go there, but he did. So we'll see. Where it all works out with him. If he does get his head in the right place and he's got something to prove, because most guys in a contract year come out with something to prove, not complaining about it, just go do the work. We'll see where his head's at. That's for sure. Jason Lemus, being the underdogs is always the best story to tell in sports. I love being the underdog, especially with a team that's undervalued. This is good. Hooligan Ox says, I heard about Vela coming back. I really wouldn't want to start him, maybe as a sub or something, but even then I'd be a little hesitant in doing so. Again, he has his moments, guys. So you are definitely thinking hard about this. You know, what he's done for the club is massive. What can he do for the club now is the real question. So, good stuff, Hooligan. Hooligan also says, I'm more confident with our guys now than with Vela on the pitch. I think it's almost unanimous. Tony, do you agree with that? You feel more confident with him off the pitch right now? Yep,
Oh,
thumbs
100%.
up. Marvin. Yeah. Marvin, thumbs
up.
up or thumbs down on that take?
I'm in the middle. I want Vela back if he's happy. If he's not, stay off the pitch.
Right. The mindset has to be right. If the mindset is right, dude, you're crazy not to play him. That's for sure. Bam. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah. You know, you feel good with what we got out there. That's for sure. I'm feeling the same way right now. Unless his head, like Marvin says, is in the right place. Dude, we can't work through things with 9 games to play. No, it's what works in the moment. For sure. Bam.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Like in playoffs, like even if his head's not 100% in there, I'd have him on the bench in case he goes to penalties. Bring him out for that, because I reckon he's one of the best penalty kick takers we've got. Other than that, the kid's doing great. They're playing with passion. They're playing with heart. They're playing to play. Keep them how it is.
Right. Run with it. It's good. All right, we're going to move on to club and community for the moment here. Tony, what have you got for us for club and community, sir?
Well, one of the biggest ones that we need to talk to, unfortunately, we'll start off on a very sad note, is Pride Republic. They need their help. They need our community to help one of their I'm sorry, I'm just blanking on the name just because it's just like it's kind of sad. But one of the I think if I remember, the president or his wife is going through liver damage and stuff like that. Defenders in their link has a GoFundMe. They're a third of the way, but again, we need this as a community to help each other out, because it's one of those things where unfortunately life hits us really hard and we need to just help each other out.
How about Dexter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his wife. Yeah,
Yes.
Dex is pure class, guys. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Yeah, definitely go to Pride's links. Check it, Defenders as well. Dex creates all their designs, all their posters for episodes and all that. He does that. I know they were in the process of moving to another state when all of this kicked down. So, yeah, give as much support as you can in this moment. Definitely we're with them for sure. Other club and communities, sir, anything else you want to bring up?
Of course, anytime you tweet and post Instagram or anything, kick childhood cancer. I know our fellow Bam has been really good about that with the community, with the pod fam and everybody he's been communicating with. So if you're gonna, just put a social media, just don't forget to put a kick childhood cancer, just because it's just $1. They donate $1, and it's not too hard. Just a couple seconds just to post it on whatever you're posting about your food, about the place you're visiting, and everything like that.
And after a couple times, your phone will remember the hashtag. So when she starts typing hashtag, it'll be there. So just hit it.
Make it happen. There it is. Good stuff. Other things, of course, reviewing parties for this weekend. The funniest one I heard of so far, sorry guys, I'm going to say it, is Black Army is going to be at Der Wolf, as is the crew. It's separate watch parties on different floors, but something tells me it's going to be very different by the time we get to game day. So we love you, crew. Black Army loves you. We're kind of in the same building. It might be a joint party. It might not, but we're still there together. All good things. Go to Der Wolf. It's going to be fun. No doubt about that. It's great. And it's in Pasadena, so go check it out. You got 2 groups to hang out with. You could spend a half with each if you want to. If we're not going to, we'll figure it out. But that's good. I know Global Diplomatic is actually dropping off the donated items to the charity, or to the orphanage in Tijuana this weekend. Jonathan Reimer is a great source to check in with if you want details on how to get there. They are looking for 3252 members to go down to Tijuana to help. It's a huge program going on. A lot was donated. It's really impressive. So if you can make your way down to Tijuana this weekend, please do so. Check with Jonathan. There might be a way to get there. It might be a little easier if we, communicate with the man, the myth, the legend. Do that. And if you can get down there, go for it. I know that I think it's Moose from BA. He's actually living down there, so I think he might actually be there as well. So again, support if you can. I know it's hard getting across the border right now. It's kind of tricky, but do what you got to do. Outside of club and community, there are other viewing parties. Check them out. Please do so.
Lucky's
Moving
at
on
Lucky.
from.
I was gonna say Lucky's at Lucky Baldwin's, Cuervo's, of course, at Barney's, and TSG, of course, at Beer Gardens in Koreatown.
And I'm sure EB is going to probably be at Rowdy's again because that place totally rocks. So go check it out if you're on the IE. And I know I think Pomona Casuals are going to be doing one in Pomona. So go check that out. I think I saw one popping up from them. So go take a look.
Ooh,
for sure.
Jonathan posted 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Casa Hunger de Esperanza in TJ for.
Yeah. We post that up there so y'all can see that. So those can see that. Yeah, so 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. at Casa Hogar de Esperanza in Tijuana. So, again, Jonathan can help you with directions and all that. So, reach out to the man. It's good. Good things. Thank you, Jonathan, for posting that up on the fly. Of course, Ox gave you the hashtag for Kick Childhood Cancer. Use it. Make it happen. All right, moving on. I guess you can call this community. Bam, you have the floor. What do you want to talk about right now?
Well, he's still technically our player, so we're going to talk about him a little bit. The one and only Diego Rossi, who had the eyes of Europe on him this afternoon for you guys, this morning for me. Played a full 90 minutes in the Fenerbahce's Europa League game against Frankfurt. First minute, he had a one-on-one with the keeper. Rossi one-on-one with the keeper. Kicked it straight at the keeper. 10th minute, he had another shot at goal. He gets blocked/saved by the keeper. Falls at the feet of Ozil, who just powers it through for a 1-0 up for Fenerbahce. 41st minute, Frankfurt equalizes. 9th minute, now this was a beautiful pass by Rossi. Rossi splits the defenders with a beautiful pass to lead onto an attacking player who gets fouled by the keeper and goes to a penalty. Penalty is saved, bounces back. Borussia gets there to score. Unfortunately, Borussia encroached during the penalty kick, so it gets waved off. They ended the game with a 1-1. So, good result for Rossi. Played a full 90 minutes of Europa football, so something to keep an eye out for.
So his direct actions led to both goals, correct?
Yep.
I think they should have let him kick that. I mean, the person who kicked it I think he was young, but I hated the coaching of the game. The coach put in 5 subs at once in like the late 70th, 80th minute. It was really annoying. And then he put in this young striker, and this striker, he's the one that got fouled when Rossi gave him the pass that led to the penalty. But he got the ball he wanted to kick the penalty, but he's like a young striker. He's not very experienced. Rossi totally should have kicked that. So it really irritated me that he did that.
From the highlights, which I'll put up in our group chat and all that, and we'll put it out there on socials, Rossi played a really good game.
It's sounding like if he keeps this going, the sale will happen, folks, if he keeps this up. I mean, starter 90 minutes.
It might not be a sale to Fenerbahce. He's only there on loan.
Ooh.
Other clubs can come knocking still.
Watch Frankfurt come knocking. That would be hilarious.
I heard there's a gentleman's agreement with the LAFC that he's already 4 years contract going into. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard something
on the table.
I heard that I heard the team can't sign right now because of financial issues, but they want him. And as soon as those financial constraints open up, they're going to sign him for 4 years. That's what I read.
That works. Let's hope that's the case, and we see our boy move on and officially become, one of theirs. He's already mixed in, so it's good. It's good. All right, so now this brings us on to another lovely, lovely tradition that we do on the show called the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. And in this case, the new guy is always the guy that gets hit with this. So guess what? It's Marvin. Give us your choice for this week, sir.
All right. The song I'm choosing is called RBB by Lowlife. They're an Aussie punk band, and I don't watch Australian soccer. Sorry, Bam. I don't watch it. But RBB stands for Red and Black Block, which is it's like the fan group of the Western Sydney Wanderers Football Club, and that team doesn't really matter to me. But this is a really kick-ass punk song about loving soccer and being a soccer fan. And every time I go to an LAFC game, I put this song on, and I just rock out to it. Because if you love soccer and you love music, you gotta listen to this song.
Dude, you know how much I'm loving this right now, Marvin.
I wasn't even watching it. Is he flipping out because he hates the team?
No, I don't even know what he was doing. I'm just laughing because it's just like it's a rival. It's like he has to just take it in. He just got to take it in.
The veins are popping so hard. I'm worried that the dose he just got's gonna squirt out of his arm. That's how much the man is flexing right now. That and he's having a good laugh. Right, I'm not gonna let him talk yet because the one and only Monty from Expos is a huge fan of said club. So there's a little rivalry going on here. So yeah, so I'm laughing because we love you, Monty, and I hope you're hearing this because you're probably enjoying every second of this at Bam's expense, which I love even more. But it's good because RBB, like, go watch the culture, like check the chants, like it's legit, dude, and you're gonna hear some similarities. You are, because they got that. But that being said, Bam, you have the floor. Come back, sir.
Look, Golden Boys are still number one. That's all I'm going to say. But I do got to say what the RBB has done, or did do, because unfortunately with the league here, the 32-52 wouldn't happen here. It gets crushed by the league. The league didn't want that. Things are slowly changing. We're slowly getting that back, and I hope that both teams, all teams in the league, can get that back, and to once again show that Melbourne Boys are still number one.
There it is. The rivalry had to come out. He had to.
But do they have a kick-ass song like RBB? That's what I'm asking, because that song is pretty dope.
I'll put up a song that we have where it uses security footage of an incident that happened between both clubs' fans.
Do you see something developing right now in this episode? I think we're having a moment of if someone could throw a plastic chair right now, they're probably doing it right in this moment.
Well, Bam does look like a big show.
Cargo shorts, plastic chairs. You just see it happening. You just do. Outdoor dining. We've seen these moments, and it's kind of happening right now. Dude, good choice. I gotta say, because it does kick. The song kicks. It's cool. It's based off the supporter culture, which we love. And RBB has had an influence on the 32-52. Sorry, Bam, it's true. He knows. We've taken some influence from them. That's for certain. Of all the things that we've kind of picked across the world, RBB has definitely had an effect. Thanks to Monty and his contributions to the 32-52. So there is a friendly vibe towards that side, but also towards Bam's side as well, because I'm on the Melbourne victory side as well. So there you go.
I'll be on your side, Bam.
We love you, Bam. It's okay. The vein can come down now. It's all right.
I'll be on your side, since I'm don't know about Australian football, so I'll be on your side for this one.
What does Urenia play for?
He plays for Central Coast Mariners, who just last night released their new kit for this season coming up. Before we went live, Western United, the third Melbourne team, released their new kit for the season coming up. Urenia's been playing well up in Central Coast. I saw him play a couple of games down here in Melbourne, so we'll be keeping an eye on him again this season. He signed a contract extension to stay one more year.
He was a solid
dude. He's been playing well, so yeah, he's earned it. He's earned it. And in case you saw Western United, they look kind of like Austin. It's trippy. They do.
They still haven't got a stadium yet either.
Oh man, terrible. Because that team, like, you could kind of see they kind of wanted to go our direction in a way. It just hasn't happened yet. So
from some of the inside words that we've had, some A-League clubs have been at the bank.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We are influencing the world. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So thank you, Marvin, for the excellent choice. Because, dude, we got this whole conversation out of it. Well done, sir. Dude, he did good. Good hit. I was tempted to throw in, Radiohead and the Bends and Green Plastic Trees, since, we're playing Plastic Trees back to back, Plastic Clubs back to back. We know how it goes. So I was tempted to go that way, but dude, I got to give it to Marvin. So let's transition on to, the match against the Green Plastic Pitch, Portland. So
Yay.
yes, talking about green plastic pitches. Marvin, how has Portland been doing lately?
Oh, how have they been doing? I don't know the run of form as of late, but I saw the game yesterday versus who was it?
Colorado.
And versus Colorado, yeah, and it was like 1-1 up to the 85th minute, and then Colorado scored at the 86th, and then Portland scored at the last minute, in overtime, 95th minute or something, and tied it up 2-2, which is not as good for us on the table. It's not very good for us because now they're a point above us. But this is my positive take on it: is that if they would have lost yesterday at home, they wouldn't have allowed another loss at home at their stadium when we play them next week. So they were that draw for them looked like a victory because they thought they were going to lose this 95th minute, and they tied it up and they celebrated the hell out of that goal. And for them, it's a win. So, being selfish and perceiving it as an LAFC fan, I was like, you know what? That's good that they got the tie because next week we're going to beat them and we're going to go above them anyway in the table. So.
Yeah, and I'm kind of feeling
better position.
Yeah, anytime there's a Western Conference rival, because both cases, Colorado's there too. If they can sacrifice 2 points, either one, we'll take it. Ties are okay. Get your wins, you pass these teams. It's good. Run of form, I'll just throw it out there so you guys know what's going on with Portland. They have been playing well coming into this. Out of their last 4 matches, they've got 3 wins. They're not pushover wins. It's been a 2-0 victory over Seattle on the road. That was pretty emphatic if you saw that win. Mm-hmm. A 2-0 victory against Houston. Okay, it's Houston. A 1-0 victory against Vancouver. Well, Vancouver had been turning it around leading into that. So these are legit. And honestly, Colorado has been playing good, especially after they got a certain former LAFC player. There seems to be chemistry there. So they are results. They did lose 3-1 to Austin in a bizarre match. That was not typical of them. So that did happen. But I will say, look at their last 4 matches. This team is on the upswing. They are. Defending's never that great with them, but you could kind of see it. But they haven't allowed a lot of goals. That's the other thing in this streak. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That is their form. They're on the right side of it. They look to have found a lineup that's pretty decent. There has been a little bit of shuffling, but we'll talk about the lineup in a few seconds here. Yeah, it is what it is. Now, Bam, you have some highlights from the last match because it was pretty entertaining, right?
It was. The fact that the first goal didn't come until the 64th minute, I have no idea how that happened. They were just shooting left, right, and center, both sides. They were just either going a little bit too high, a little bit too wide, getting blocked. It was really out there. The main highlights of the game, 33rd minute, Tuiloma gets a yellow card for his third foul in 3 minutes. 9 minutes later, Tuiloma again steps on Mac's ankle, then goes in for a hard tackle on Galvin, gets a second yellow, red card. He misses our game, thankfully, because he is a good player. 64th minute, Lewis opens the scoring for Colorado. Nice quick passing in the box, leads it to Lewis with a nice little kick around the keeper for the goal. 66 minutes, Padres cops a yellow for argument. 67th minute, Mora equalizes. It was a free kick it was a nice free kick. Falls to Blanco in the box. He comes off his thigh across the face of goal to Mora to head home. Little stat about that goal. That was the first headed goal Colorado's conceded this year.
Wild.
That's crazy.
That's odd, right? Very odd.
Yeah. This long into the season, that's your first headed goal conceded. 82nd minute, Clark gets a yellow card for time wasting. 87th minute. Now, this goal, go look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Boris scores a goal from the byline, crossing it with the outside of his foot that hits the back post and goes in. It was a magnificent goal.
Magnificent? Was it even meant to be?
Oh, hell no. It wasn't meant to be.
That was that was a Clark screw up. Let's be real. Like, he owns this. He's a total gaff all the way. I know it was an odd situation to get yourself into, but he really did get himself turned around. For real.
He did.
So, yeah.
Then in the 91st minute, Blanco equalizes again for Portland. That goal was a typical FIFA PS5, PS4 goal. Cross the face in. That's what it was, really. That's what it was. Some of the key stats for the game, as I bring up here. Possession.
I have to give him the fancy. Give him the moment here. Sam needs his moment. Ready? Here goes. Good. Bing.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. All right. Possession. We had Colorado were up 62% to 37%. Shots. Colorado were up again 24-11 with 7 on goals to Portland's 4. Corners fairly even, 6 for Colorado, 5 for Portland. Crosses. Portland had 20. Colorado had 43. That's what? 1 every 2 minutes?
Yep, pretty much.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Fouls, one thing that Portland won, 11 fouls to 9. They had 3 yellows each and 1 red to Portland. Total team expected goals, 2.7 to 2. So obviously Portland didn't reach theirs, and Colorado matched theirs expected goals. So the main highlights from the game.
So you're kind of wondering, with 43 crosses, I mean, did they have Edwards playing for Colorado in this match? Because that's wild.
Yeah, like when I saw that, I'm like, no, that's got to be wrong. I checked 3 different sites and it all said 43 crosses.
It's just like hitting the hope into the middle. Like, it's just really, really odd. I mean, I guess you don't want to play the ball on that pitch, so you might as well just wing it. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. So that being said, Tony, give us the good, bad, and the ugly of Portland. What's going on with these guys? Like, who's standing up? Who's not?
The usual characters as always, but then again, it's like when it comes to our rivals, it's like we always have to just throw out whatever they're doing because they always just show up for us, to be honest. You know what I mean? It could be Portland, it could be Carson, it could be Seattle. They just like to show up for us. No matter what run of form they're at, it's just, they're playing us. We have to get back to where we at and stuff like that. So, but again, it's the usual stuff, like the Chara brothers. As we were saying, someone who is no longer a starter, but as we were saying earlier with Vela, is like getting into that super sub role. What was his name? Joseph? Like right now, it's like blanking my head.
Valeri.
Yes, Valeri. Yep.
Diego Valeri. Yeah.
So, like I said, it's like, especially like as Marvin was saying, especially after that win where they celebrated as a win, it's because they had the 10 players, and watching that game, and like I was like, what is going on? How are you not? How is Colorado not like destroying them? Because they like bunkered down and kept it close, they kept it tight, and while there were still mistakes there, they still were able to come back and keep their momentum going and get the goal back.
Which might explain all the crazy crosses, right? Because they're short, they just got to hit it and maybe hope for a good bounce. That makes perfect sense in that case. But yeah, their game plan was kind of thrown out the window with that, but they still followed through. That's for sure. Now, looking at recent lineups, you're not going to be shocked by this lineup. They're just set up. They're going to play the 4-2-3-1. It's what they do. It's their style. They love to control and clog the middle when necessary and hit you on counters from the outside. That's what they do. It explains the crosses as well, again, because they play out so wide. You're like, well, who's doing it? Where's it coming from? Well, Clark will probably be your goalkeeper again. No question about that. Your back line, though, is going to be a little bit different. It looks like it's probably going to be Claudio Bravo as your left back, Suparic and Mabiala as your center backs. They've been super consistent as the center backs for this side. That's not a big shock. The big question will be right back. Since Tuiloma is out, Jose Van Rankin is probably the guy coming in for this, which the reason he's there is the reason why Far fans with us, let's be real.
Yeah.
So even though he's had some on and off moments, that's the guy to go to, especially with this suspension going on. Your defensive midfielders, here's a shock. It's Diego Chara. There he is again. And then Christian Paredes. Sometimes Fochive plays there, but let's be real. If Paredes is healthy, Paredes is in. That's pretty strong in defensive mid. Your outside mids. You're on the left side, probably going to be Darian Asprilla. Right side, Yemi Chara, who's really come into his own with the side. I mean, we knew he was good already, but really he's having a good season, a really good season for them. So it's looking right. And, of course, who's your central mid? It's going to be Sebastian Blanco, who's having probably one of his best seasons he's ever played. Really, again, injuries got him last year, right? It's been trouble, but he is full fitness, and you can see. Really dangerous. And then the center forward situation, the guy that always hurts us is now in San Jose, so that's a beautiful thing. But it should be Felipe Mora for this match. That's I don't see it looking any other way than that lineup. I'm really solid about this one. That's what to expect. And you're going to be like, but Diego Valeri's like back again, right? Yeah, Diego's back. But did you know the last time he played full 90 minutes was July 21st against who? Us, the game we blew up there. That's the last time he played a full 90 minutes, guys. He's not that guy anymore, it seems. He's getting the limited minutes. He's coming in as a super sub. Maybe he's not 100%. Again, he's an older player, but he, of course, being Diego Valeri, will sacrifice anything he can for the clubs that he plays for. He'll take that role for the good of the order. That's Diego Valeri. He's a warrior. So do I expect him to start? No. Do I expect him to play? Heck yeah, he's going to play against us. We just don't know when we're going to see him. But that's what we're looking at. Who can come off the bench? You have Fochive, like I mentioned, could be your other guy in defensive mid. Zach McGraw, another young defender, seeing how they're shorthanded because of a suspension, could get minutes in this match. Yaroslav Nieskota definitely could see minutes as this if Morora gets kind of tired or they need to add a second striker into the mix. Nieskota could be an option there. Marvin Loria, Santiago Moreno, Renzo Zambrano all get minutes. I'm not sure what we're going to see from them in this match. I don't expect a whole lot of minutes from those guys, but they're there. They're definite options. We'll see where that plays itself out. In terms of who's out, Bam, it's been pretty straightforward. Who's missing for them today?
Yeah, it's the usuals. Like they've been out for like all the injured players have been out for a few weeks and they're expected to be out for a few more. So you got Etanella, Jerome, Williamson, Polo, and obviously Tuiloma out on a red card, which I'm kind of thankful for.
He kind of hacks though. I mean, dude, getting 2 yellows by the 41st minute is pretty epically bad. But
but he is a strong defender though. He's that strong defender who can stop us. So with him out, I mean, we could feeling a little bit more confident.
Yeah, we could definitely use him in our lineup. Let's be real. So. Yeah, it's a big loss for them, especially in the situation that they're in. We are chasing them. It's getting close. We'll talk about the playoffs in a few moments here. So do you guys think there's any other aberration to the lineup for them? Is that pretty much what we're going to see?
That's what we're going to see.
That's what we're going to see.
Straight up. Very predictable. That's for sure. The big question is who's going to play for us? That's the real talk. Who's available, who's not. I know there's a lot of days until we play this match. We're getting it kind of early, Thursday match, But, yeah, we got to figure out who's in the lineup, who's going to be healthy, who's actually making the trip is the other situation. Will Atuesta be off the radar or on? Bam, have you heard anything about Atuesta's situation?
Not anymore, so I expect him to play. I'm expecting him to play because, as far as I've heard, it was an ankle sprain, nothing too major. So
more of precaution. Would we put a guy with an ankle situation on a burning plastic pitch?
No.
I would hope not, but at the same time, though, I can see us going for the 3 points and putting him out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is the redemption match, right? Marvin, do you think this is one where we really got something to prove?
Hell yeah. Portland is one of my biggest rivals. I hate them so much. It's just they're right up there with Galaxy to me. Like they're like the epitome of what I don't like in a soccer team. Like they like play really hard the first 15, 20 minutes, score a goal, then defend the hell out of it, play dirty, cheat, and then the last 10 minutes they score a goal and win us. And it just drives me nuts how it's always that equation with us. And I'm like, just don't let them score at the end, please. Like I'm so tired of that type of soccer that they play. So I would put Atuesta out there, and I think we have something to prove against them.
All depends on health. I'm a little leery, but I know we need to win this game. This one is a big one because you can catch them. We'll talk about the standings in a few minutes. This is huge for us. Huge to play this side at this moment where they're at and to get some revenge in their house. They have the crowd again. They have the noise. They have the terrible field. Gives them all these advantages against us. But it's funny. When the chips are down and things aren't looking entirely great for us, when we go up there, we tend to get results. We have surprise results up there. We've had surprise losses too. But yeah, there's some anger in this one for sure. Right, Tony?
Yeah, for sure. Like, again, I don't think I've met a LAFC fan who thinks, oh yeah, Portland's a pretty good team, just sunshine is a rainbow. This is always gets down and dirty. It's never fun. It's like, even when we go there, it's never even like it's fun because it's like we're visiting Portland, not because of the team, but it's
like Seattle. Like I respect Seattle. Like when they win us, I know they won us, and I'm like, okay, fair game, good game. You defeated us, fair game. Every time Portland has won, I'm like, this is bullshit. They didn't deserve it. It was just a bullshit win, And
yeah.
I'm just tired of that. Like we need to really put away these games,
Dude, I just want them to throttle these guys. Dude, the Orongo show. Like, get a hat trick. It's cool. We'd love to see it. This is the team you want to get. If you want a hat trick, this is the one, sir. Do it. Because honestly, like at first, I'm like, this is a good sporting rivalry because we kind of matched up on the field. But then it became something different, and you can see it among the players. There's some hate between these sides, real legit hate. For me, I kind of lost it completely in the Dio situation. How they just brushed that off on me. At that point, I'm like, I hate your club. Like now it's all the way across the board for me. Like I'm done with you. There's been other incidents with them as well where at this point they're up there in Carson status with me. Like I want to kill those guys every time we play them. I don't like them. They get away with stuff. They get away with too much, and the first to complain about every little thing. So, dude, bring it. I hope we go out there and get some revenge on that goofball field that they call a field because it's not one, and we embarrass them because we need it. Right, Oz?
Exactly. I was just looking up just then. Another thing that falls in our favor is we won't be sending anyone to Vegas this weekend. Vegas don't have a game this weekend.
Do we see Torres?
He scored on them before.
Yeah, so maybe.
I look at. Let's talk about our lineup. What do we think we're gonna see? So, if we assume Atuesta's back in the mix, well, what do we line up with down there? Like, what, Bam? What are you looking at? Like, our back line, are we gonna go 5 deep?
I don't see much difference from last game to this game, if anything. If Atuesta's fit, he goes back in and we take out Edwards.
Okay.
That will be.
So now the question. Mm-hmm.
That would be the biggest
That
thing.
makes sense.
And yeah, that's. Other than that, I think this lineup will be pretty much similar to our last game.
Well, the one thing that's going to shift everything is Ibiaga's back.
Oh yeah.
Now you have 3 legit guys back there that can defend. Do you open it up for Kim Moon-Hwan to go on a spree here and play right wing back and go nuts and go with 3 center backs Do you go crazy on the left side? Because the left side's to me always been our weakness. Do we trust Palacios entirely to play as a wing back in this match and go 5 deep? Could that be what we do?
I trust Palacios, but I don't trust Farfan or Moon. That's my personal.
Right, because Moon's been, but I think Moon is safe when you play with 3 center backs. Then he's a safe bet.
Yeah, he's safe.
And then the other question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's secure. But then if you have the 5, right, the 3 center backs and your wing backs, your mid becomes a story because Latif didn't get anything going, right? He got a rest.
Yeah.
He got a rest. Now you have a rested Latif. There is no way, no how he doesn't play in this match.
I think he was rested for this match,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a guarantee. So if you have a Tuesta, Latif, Cifuentes in the mid, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. And up top it's Arango and Brian.
Yep.
That's as good as you can get, right? With what we've got.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I think the only hard part is, the right back and left back positions. So that's always been the issue with us. I have an issue with, us never having like good fullbacks, to be honest. And that's always the dilemma here.
I think that's why we play with 3 center backs is we're
and that's why it's working better.
Yeah,
we're compensating for
we're not relying on them. We're not relying on them as much.
They get out of jail. And same with Latif in mid. Tracking back has never been his strong suit, but when you have 3 center backs, he can kind of just go crazy out there and do his thing.
Yeah.
It's just safe. It's safe. It always brings me back to that moment we were playing against Kansas City, and that first half, like, to me, was one of the better halves we've seen under that system. Second half, we know what happened, but the first half was right. Now we're back again. We've seen the moments. We've seen what they can do. Yeah, I feel that that's what we're going to play with is the wing backs again and let it fly. So, Bam, do you think the lineup could look different than that?
No, I think that's fairly right. It's completely forgot that Christosimo was playing for us last game. Like, he didn't do much. So I was like, oh yeah, he was there. To me, he was more just a body on the field at the time.
So
now, if we don't, Now I'll throw it to Marvin. If Atuesta cannot play, if he is not available, then what does it look like in the middle?
It's easy. It has to be Sifu, Ginella, and Duke. Duke is we needed him for the previous game, to be honest. I'm glad they started Christosimo because I've been wanting him to start, but I wanted him to start when Atuesta was here. Personally, Duke brings a different dynamic and energy and attacking transition that we don't get in other players on our team. I've been asking for Duke to be put in the 10 playmaker position, and he's been doing that the last 2 games, and I think that's why he's been shining. I think he is a center attacking midfielder, and so I think we do a lot better when he starts.
So what would your lineup look like if that's the case?
If Noah Tuesta, you're saying?
Yeah.
3 center backs, obviously. Ibiaga, Murillo, and Fall. 5 midfield with Palacios from the left, Sifu, Ginella, Duke, Oz right back, Moon, and then Arango and Raito.
So no blessing.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would probably put Blessing in as. Oh, you know what? No, Ginella's been pretty decent in the midfield. He's been pretty stable. I would say it's between Ginella or Blessing, to be honest. But I think Ginella with Sifu is a pretty good combination, to be honest. One that's not talked about too much. So that's a hard one. But I would still probably start that 3 that I said and have Blessing as a super sub.
There we are. Any other thoughts, gentlemen? Tony, do you think any aberration to that?
Like I said, the only one is I think Janela should start anything because we do need just to have an extra defensive mid. You know what I mean? He's good, and again, he's been doing really good crosses and passes, so he's been showing what we need from him again. But just defensively wise, especially because it is Portland and they just parked the bus and tried to just not get that one goal and not do anything with it after that. I would put Janela in.
There it is. Okay. Oz, any other thoughts?
Nah, that's pretty much it. Like the other case you can say for Blessing starting over Janela's played the last 2 games full 90s. So in that case, do you give Janela the first half off? Do you only play him for a half? I can see those two going to be swapping for each other at some stage. Which one starts, don't know.
Yeah, if I'm going to predict, I think if it's Noah Tuesta, then it's Janela anchoring that 3-man mid with Sifu and Blessing. I think that would be my prediction for this one. Like that's
I don't
what
think
it's gonna
anybody.
look like.
I don't think anybody ever gets mad if Blessing starts. Right? It's always just like, yeah, let's go for it. Like he's gonna do good. So he'll
He
never
hates
let it
those
down.
guys.
Yeah,
Like he hates Portland, so I kind of be like, let him have it.
He
You know,
hates teams that
For
push
sure.
him around, and Galaxy and Carson and Portland push him around a lot, which is not cool.
Yeah, they don't respect him. They should because he burns them every chance he gets. So let him take it. And of course, I think he likes battling with Chara too. Who doesn't? It's a war. It's a war. So good things all around. All right. So that being said, let's check out what the community thinks about this match. And I'm already seeing Ox like he's ready to let it rip. A couple others. So let me see. Hooligan Ox. Bam has that Bob vein popping out, talking about the Australian rivalry. There it is. Hooligan Ox also says they always let Portland get away with the dirty, dirty plays. You have Charlie, you get away with everything, right?
Pretty
Of course.
much, yeah.
Roberto, I love this. Oh, hey, face to the name, Marvin. They're calling you. There it is. He gets his moment. There we go. All right, moving on to Hooligan Ox Shujo. We will never forget. We will never forget what they did to Dio. That is without a doubt, for sure. Roberto Espinoza, I hate Portland. Nice. He also says Maria is so sketch, though. He is, but he's our sketch. To me, he's sketch when he gets too casual. He just is.
I have a take on this too. Mario's sketch, okay, but I think he has talent, and I think his positioning problems, I think could be fixed. You know, and I think little by little, I think Bob will address that with him. And I think if he could fix those few problems, he'll be a really good center back. But I think what his problems are right now are very fixable.
Yeah, mental stuff as well. Let me see other comments I'm seeing. Javier Delgado Jr. I want to see Latif come in as a subs. There's an agreement for substitute right there, guys. Roberto Espinoza, Moon has such good service, right? The front end is so good from him. Yeah, for sure. Ox, yep, we need Duke to start. So another call for Duke to start. And Espinoza, the more minutes Pancho gets, the more he settles, right? You know, I think that's it for a lot of our young guys. Is now they're getting minutes, so you're seeing the real version, what they wanted from these guys, because now they're more comfortable. That's for certain. That is for certain. Good stuff, guys. Good comments. Love it. So the last thing we want to talk about, of course, is the standing situation, the playoff hunt. Marvin, can you give us kind of an idea as where it sits for us and how the playoffs are looking for us?
So right now, LAFC sits at 7th place with 33 points, tied with Real Salt Lake, who I believe won the game at the pretty last minute against San Jose, which really upset me. I was watching that game and I was like, sweet, we're going to be above Real Salt Lake, but they got the win at the last minute. Anyway, that jumped them to 6th place ahead of us on goal differential, 2 goals differential. So we went from 6th to 7th on that game. Still, though, we're in the playoff position, which is where we want to be. And, you know, going into the Portland game, I feel like, you know, I feel pretty positive. I think the guys are going to give it everything they can to really climb up the table. Real Salt Lake is going to be playing Seattle on Saturday, which is good news for us, I think. You know, if we want to climb up the table, the ones above us have to, you know, do worse. So it's good that they're playing. It's good that they're playing Seattle. So yeah, that's where we're at. You know, I think with 1 or 2 wins, we could climb up the table up to 5th place, maybe even 4th.
Yeah, I think fourth is
Yep.
kind of the pinnacle at this point for us. If we get to fourth, it's been one hell of a turnaround, which would give us a home game in the first round. Can you believe that? Possibly against our rivals, right? Because they're looking about to finish at about the same area. So, yeah, if we get home, it's going to be an amazing turnaround season. I'm not betting on that. I'm thinking fifth is realistic just because how other games are going to play it out around us. But dude, if we run the table, yeah, it could be even higher than that. And we're looking at right now. So a lot pins on this weekend's match. It really does. It throws everything out of the loop for everybody if we can get a result on the road in Portland. So critical things. Thank you everybody for the comments. I just want to throw this to Roberto's final comment that he gave. Roberto Espinoza says it's in our hands, and like we said, it really is in our hands. So a good comment there. So tradition dictates, of course, after we look at everybody's reactions and everything that we do, is that we all give our final comment in the lead up to the match. And it's looking to me with the fingers pointed. I mean, the new guy gets first crack at the final comment of the day. So that being said, LAFC Edge himself, Marvin Chavez, sir, you have the floor for your final thought of the day.
All right. First final thought. All right. We have 2 more away games, and it's obviously really important. Every game from here on out, we need that win, but especially these 2 next away games, we need to keep this momentum going, and that's pretty obvious. But the 3rd game after that, October 3rd, is Carson, and so these 2 games leading to that, we need all the momentum we can leading up to that, because I think come that the third game to come, which is Carson, I think we're going to be fighting Carson for that fourth spot. I feel like it's going to culminate to that. And that'd be beautiful because I want to take that away from them. And, I feel like what better way to get that top 4 spot than to take it from Carson at their home, which we haven't gotten our win at their home. So I think it's really important that we have that momentum, go into Carson, take the 4th spot.
That's the big play. So like you mentioned, schedule wise, Portland on the road, San Jose on the road. Then we come back home to host Portland.
Yeah.
And then
it's Carson. Sorry, it was 3 games and then yeah.
Okay, I was like,
yeah. And these aren't easy matches, right? I mean, these are in conference rivalry stuff.
Mhm.
It's brutal all the way to the end. There's no easy games. There's no pushovers for the rest of the season. Nothing is easy. Like I said, Portland, San Jose, Portland, Galaxy, San Jose, Dallas, Minnesota, Seattle, Vancouver, then Colorado. The only guys that seem to be the ones that you should push over is probably Vancouver. Otherwise, everyone in that is in the race still. It ain't easy. Yeah, so you're right, man. These are all kind of the lead up to that moment. And if we can streak through the 3 matches, that is our past them match. So, boy, it's like you could write a movie on this. The turnaround. It's good. So, good stuff, Marvin. Love the take, man. Now we're moving on to the next guy, and Tony's looking at me like, not me. So I'm going to say no to Tony. You're not going to have to do it yet. We're going to give this to the one, the only Brendan. Go for it, sir.
First off, Marvin, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Finally putting a face to the name and not having to read all the comments come through, which is good straight from you. Again, as you guys probably saw, my name for this episode is That Fella Down Under. A little bit of jib at your president, Joe Biden, who couldn't remember our prime minister's name during a conference yesterday. Couldn't remember Boris Johnson's name, not Scott Morrison's, but that's okay.
You look kind of similar, but
in all fairness, I didn't know his name too. I'm sorry.
That's right. We'll call him ScoMo anyway.
Hey, as long as the check clears on the nuclear subs, it's all good, right?
Exactly. And France isn't happy about that at the moment, so that's yeah. Once again, Marvin, thanks for coming on. To the people at Shoulder to Shoulder, to FCFC, congratulations on 100 episodes. That's a massive milestone. We'll have to get it next time I get out there. I'll have to get out to FCFC and have a beer, have some tea with them. For this game coming up, look, it's 3 points that we do need. There's not many games we can drop for the rest of the season. Let's get out there. Let's show Portland who we are. Let's destroy them. Let's just destroy them.
Yeah. Tired of the conversation on them and getting away with stuff. Good stuff, Brendan. That moves it to Tony. Tony, final thoughts, sir.
First again, like Bam, thank you, Marvin, for coming on and stuff like that. It's like I said, it's been very odd to hear the takes instead of reading the takes all the whole time. So glad to have you on. Glad you can make it on. Like I said, we need these 3 points. A tie is, of course, okay, I guess, because it's like we're still in the running and stuff like that. But since it's Portland, I want the 3 points. Let's just be honest. I just want the 3 points because it's Portland, and I just want to embarrass them. For all the 32-52 that are traveling to Portland, be safe out there. You know what I mean? It's still, as much as like we still are we are free to go wherever we can. We still have COVID protocols, so you always just be safe, but have fun. Again, thank you Shoulder to Shoulder for their 100th episode. Thank you FCFC for their 100th episode. It's always been a treat to listen to both of them. Again, thank you, Jonathan, for letting me be on the next episode for you guys, and it was a real treat to do that. So again, if you have a chance, listen. We have many podcasts to listen to, not just ours, but a lot more in the community to listen to if you need more LAFC fix before the game.
There it is. Again, community is always tight, guys. We've said this before. There is nothing like the 32-52 and the LAFC family and the Pod fam. There's something special about this team and this side, without a doubt. Which brings us to the next thing. We call this episode Warriors, right? That's when we went Road Warriors. And you're like, how do you call it Road Warriors? There's only one on the road. Yeah, you know what? It's about more than the club. When I called about Road Warriors, I was really talking about those who are traveling to Austin and then traveling to Portland and then going to travel to San Jose. Oh, and then going to go to Carson. And there's going to be these Road Warriors that are going to every one of those. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot. They're going to go to every one of those things. Those are the Road Warriors. And our guys, yeah, they're showing signs of being Road Warriors. That was a grinder win in the last one. So they earned it for that match. Now we need to see it again. We need a repeat performance. Just like Brian's performance against the Galaxy, we need to see a repeat performance for that one, especially against Portland. So to all of them, thank you, Road Warriors, for making those trips to everywhere to make it happen. Thank you, LAFC, for getting it together and getting a grinder win for once and for all. We love all this. To the rest of you guys out there following this team, we've had highs, we've had some crazy lows. Realize that we're not completely in the playoffs yet. They still have to get some results in these last few games. They have to be on the right side of it. We're certain if they're going to make the playoffs. It is going to be that tight all the way to the end. We could end up in 4th. We could end up in 9th. It's that tight. So that being said, be positive. Support your team through and through. Build them up. Don't break them down. That's what support's about. Be there for them. Highs and lows, they need you. You see what our boys are made of. You see how they fight for the club. Now they need you through and through to keep fighting for the club. So on that note, again, thank you guys. Kick childhood cancer. Throw up the hashtags. If you're getting to head to TJ. Support the cause for Global Diplomatic. Congratulations to Shoulder. Congratulations to FCFC. I want to see you on this show pretty soon. We owe you guys, we got to host you at some point. So reach out. Let's make that happen. And of course, at the end of the day, what do we always say, guys, to call out this show? On 3, I'm going to call it Stay
Golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.